The U.S. Interstate Highway System is one of the most extensive highway systems in the world, totaling nearly 49,000 miles. While the system has many highways that conform to the standards set by the Federal Highway Administration, some don't, which are known as gaps. Let's explore some of these gaps and other oddities in the latest episode. The U.S. Interstate Highway System, officially known as the Dwight D. Eisenhower National System of Interstate and Defense Highways, was authorized by the Federal Aid Highway Act of 1956. Inspired by the efficiency of Germany's Autobahn network, President Eisenhower championed the system to improve national defense and economic growth. The project became the largest public works initiative in U.S. history, creating over 48,000 miles of highways that connect major cities across the country. It revolutionized American travel, commerce, and suburbanization, shaping the nation's infrastructure and economy for decades. While most of the system is up to standard, some parts aren't, which are known as gaps. In today's video, we are going to review some of these gaps and explore why they exist. Also, look at some of the other oddities of interstate highways. Before we begin, if you enjoy geography and earth science, you like the content on this channel, so be sure to subscribe to my channel, Our World, Our Planet, Our Home. Let's get started. Let's start with bridges. According to interstate highway standards, all bridges must be fixed and not movable. While movable bridges are uncommon on interstates, there are 8 nationwide. One notable one with lots of traffic is the William A. Stickel Memorial Bridge crossing the Passaic River in New Jersey between Essex and Hudson counties. This bridge was constructed between 1948 and 1949 before the completion of the interstate highway system and was designated for Route 25A, a spur highway running from defunct Route 25 in Jersey City to Clifton Avenue in Newark. In 1953, the highway was rechristened into State Highway 58, but a few years later, Interstate 280 was constructed initially from Kearney to Orange, and the Stickel Bridge was designated as the interstate. At the time, many boats traversed up the Passaic River to industrial cities like Paterson and Passaic, and the bridge opened frequently, often disrupting traffic. The bridge is manned by a draw tender until 1999, and nowadays, the bridge rarely opens. However, if a boat has to make its way up the river, it requires a 24-hour notice from the New Jersey Department of Transportation. Since a bridge opens rarely, it's pretty much a fixed bridge today, but still has the capability to open if needed. Between Oregon and Washington, another movable bridge, the Interstate Bridge, is part of Interstate 5, a north-south interstate going from Canada to Mexico and traverses the Columbia River. The first span of the Interstate Bridge opened in 1917, and the second span was added in 1958. The older span in particular is over a century old and has outdated design features. The bridge is a significant bottleneck on the Interstate 5 corridor. It is one of the most congested points in the Pacific Northwest, with daily traffic often exceeding 130,000 vehicles. The lack of shoulders in the narrow lanes contribute to frequent traffic slowdowns, especially during peak hours. Unlike the Stickel Bridge, the Interstate Bridge does open more frequently to allow traffic to pass, which further disrupts vehicle traffic. In 2019, the Interstate Bridge Replacement Program was created as a joint effort between state, federal, and local authorities to come up with a feasible replacement to the aging and obsolete bridge. There are several considerations on the table, with some calling for a fixed concrete bridge, while others, such as the U.S. Coast Guard, calling for a modernized movable bridge so that boat traffic can continue to enter and exit. In addition, the new modern bridge will be retrofitted to be protected from seismic events, which can be quite common in the Northwest United States. If all goes as planned, construction on the new bridge will begin sometime in 2025. True gaps are where interstates of the same highway number are not connected to each other in one or multiple areas. One highway with 3 notable true gaps is Interstate 49, a disconnected interstate that runs from Louisiana to Missouri. At the southern terminus, Interstate 49 starts at Interstate 10 and heads northward for over 200 miles until its first gap in Shreveport. Motorists who want to continue to take the interstate northward are advised to exit at Louisiana Highway 3132 and travel 15 miles on that to return to Interstate 49. From there, Interstate 49 continues northward to Texarkana, Arkansas for 78 miles until the next gap, where the interstate abruptly ends at a stop sign at US 71. This gap is the largest, and if motorists want to continue northward, they must navigate US 71 for 164 miles through a series of two-laned, twisty, disconnected roads that are time-consuming to navigate. Once US 71 reaches Fort Smith, Arkansas, drivers can access Interstate 49 again. This 6-mile stretch was recently constructed as part of the Arkansas Department of Transportation's plans to fill in the gaps, and work are continuing northward to connect Interstate 49 in Barling to Interstate 49 in Alma. But right now, drivers have to exit onto multiple state and other interstate highways to continue northward. Through Missouri, Interstate 49 has no true gaps and ends at multiple highways in Kansas City. Future plans to fill in other gaps are in the planning stages, including a gap at the southern terminus of Interstate 49, which will extend the interstate to New Orleans, and the 171-mile stretch in Arkansas, which will connect Texarkana to Fort Smith. Sometimes, physical and environmental factors play a role in why interstates don't meet standards. One good example of this is on a stretch of Interstate 93 in New Hampshire. The Franconia Notch is a major mountain pass in the White Mountains, and Interstate 93 goes through this gap. While interstate highway standards call for at least 4 lanes on a highway, Interstate 93 in this area only has 2 lanes, one on each side. There were plans to build a 4-lane highway through the Notch. However, the harsh physical geography, coupled with environmental concerns, led to the area receiving a special act by Congress to make the highway only 2 lanes. Today, Interstate 93 through the Franconia Notch is the only interstate in the United States to have a multi-mile stretch of 2-lane freeway. In addition, parking was permitted on the side of the interstate until 2019, but is now illegal. When people think of traffic signals, they usually don't think of interstate highways, as the vast majority of them don't have any, except for exit and entrance ramps. But there are some interstates that have traffic signals directly on them. The most notable example is Interstate 70 in Breezewood, Pennsylvania. Unlike typical interstate highways, which are free-flowing, Interstate 70 in Breezewood forces drivers to exit onto local roads with traffic signals, creating a unique bottleneck. This setup is a result of historical decisions and has persisted due to the economic benefits it brings to local businesses, making Breezewood a rare and quirky exception in the U.S. interstate system. In Jersey City, New Jersey, Interstate 78 features a rear section with traffic signals as it passes through the city on the way to the Holland Tunnel, where the highway intersects with local streets. This section of Interstate 78 serves as a connector between the New Jersey Turnpike and the entrance to the Holland Tunnel leading into Manhattan. The traffic signals in this urban area are necessary due to the dense development and the need to manage the flow of local and through traffic, making it an unusual case in the interstate system. While the interstate highway system in America is mostly completed, it will still be continually altered throughout the 21st century. While some gaps may be adjusted to conform to interstate highway standards, some may remain due to physical limitations, environmental concerns, and overall funding from federal, state, and local agencies. This video just covered a few of the gaps and oddities of the US interstate highway system. In the future, I will make another video featuring more of them. That concludes this week's episode. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you'd like to leave your feedback, please do so in the comment section below. And remember to subscribe to my channel, Our World, Our Planet, Our Home. Until next time!